Hi everyone, this is Emily and I'm a digital transformation consultant at Hyperbots Inc. I'm really pleased to have Shaun again with us. He is the SOC Compliance Manager at Norfolk Southern. So really great to have you on, Shaun.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So the topic that we'd be discussing today, Sean, is ensuring accurate GL coding of expenses. And I'd want to begin with asking this question as to, why is it so important to ensure that expenses are coded correctly under the right GL codes, and what are the main challenges that companies face in this area?
Yeah, so I'd say it's essential for one, financial reporting, budgeting, as well as compliance. It just makes sure that the financial statements reflect the true state of the company's financing, which helps for better decision making, better compliance, and with other regulatory bodies. I'd say that the main challenge is just the volume of expenses, especially for a large organization. There's
Mhm.
so many expenses and transactions to go through, which means there's risk of human error.
Got it. So often, what I have seen, Sean, is that sampling is used to check the accuracy of expense coding. So, can you explain how sampling works and give examples of maybe its advantages and limitations?
Absolutely. So, as we mentioned, there's a large amount of transactions. So, sampling, drills down to the important ones. So, for example, a company might use a random sampling approach where they look at 5% of all the expense entries versus looking at all of them. And then one advantage to the sampling approach is it's more cost effective and time efficient. I'd say one of the limitations with it is it may not detect like systematic errors or fraud if those errors are not present in the specific transactions that we sampled.
Understood. Also, Sean, how does automation or automation tools in general help in ensuring correct GL coding? And what are some examples of their use in companies?
Absolutely. So automation tools, they have predefined rules to certain expense transactions.
Mhm.
So this reduces the need for the manual process of coding and the associated errors with that. So for example, an ERP system like SAP might automatically categorize all expenses with the heading hotel as travel expenses. However, some of the limits can be too rigid. So, for example, let's say in the expense management, there was the word event, and
Mhm.
some tools might automatically categorize it in marketing, even if there was an internal training session that should have been coded differently.
Got it. Sean, what role can AI play in improving the accuracy of expense coding? And can you provide examples of how this is implemented in practice?
So one technique that AI uses is NLP, which stands for Natural Language Transactions Processing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so it analyzes transactions, descriptions, and suggests the most appropriate geocodes. For example, let's say the description is client dinner at so and so restaurant. And what it will do is it correctly code it to the entertainment and expenses rather than just food and beverages. So AI can detect anomalies in real time and help catch errors early and maintain accurate records.
Understood. So, just out of curiosity, Sean, how can AI help in auditing human coded expenses and what are some examples of its effectiveness?
Yeah, so AI can learn from historical data. So they can identify what correct coding should look like and then compare it to current entries. And also, AI can flag discrepancies or unusual patterns.
Got it. So, just to round things up, Sean, one last question. Are there any additional benefits of using AI over traditional sampling methods for auditing expenses?
Yeah, so the main thing is when it comes to humans, a lot of times they will do it periodically, like once a month or once a quarter, whereas AI can do this continuous monitoring. And they can, as I mentioned, they can detect anomalies. And rather than waiting for the periodic reviews, they can analyze a much larger set of data so they can cover 100% of the expenses, whereas the sampling approach may cover only 5% or less.
Understood. Got it. Thank you so much, Sean, for talking to us about, GL coding and how accuracy can be maintained. It was really great having you, and the discussion was truly insightful. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.